Year ago tonight, the first explosions in Ukraine started in the Russian invasion of that country. International experts didn't think the Russians would invade in the first place. And then when the Russians did, experts thought that they would quickly run through Ukraine.
Neither prediction was correct. And a year later now, Ukrainians say that their country is a different place because of it.
It has transformed Ukrainian people in how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their country, how they feel about their place in the world, and their determination.
Vitaly Chernetsky teaches at KU. He's from Ukraine and his father still lives in Odessa. He says Russians had been relatively successful convincing the rest of the world that Ukraine was hopelessly divided with no sense of self. A year of warfare, he says, has ironed out whatever divisions there were and proved the Russians wrong.
And instead, we have a very different view of what Ukraine is, where it is, what is its subjecthood, and what it means for the rest of the world.
We first spoke to Weston resident Paul Schwenison when he was first in Kyiv. He used his military training to help deliver equipment to frontline fighters and brought back what he said was evidence of war crimes. Now, he tells me, he's working with non-governmental organizations through the UN to document those war crimes.
Always in our hearts and our mind to go back. What does that go back looks like? Sometimes you don't know, you're just taking a step of faith.
Andrei Kratsov is back in Ukraine tonight after he and a group of people with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes were in the U.S. for a conference when it became dangerous to return. He's continuing their mission now, getting sports equipment to coaches, trying to create a sense of normalcy in the middle of a war. Since he's been gone for a year, though, the friends he's staying with are helping him catch up.
They have two children, and the kids are talking like, oh, it's no big deal when the rockets flying away. It's no big deal when this big drone is flying over your house.
In the meantime, his organization is setting up sports camps for many kids with parents who are off defending Ukraine or who died doing it.
Andrei says they're also pulling together adaptive sports equipment for injured soldiers so that they can play sports when the war is over. You can find more information about that organization and events to commemorate the one-year anniversary under this story on our website right now, fox4kc.com.